And how many countries have you been to? And what is your average flight cost paid?
Hello, everybody. My name's Trevor. I have been traveling half my life. I am now 38 years old. In high school, I went to Spain. I lived with a family in Barcelona, and that kind of started everything from there. I've been traveling ever since, and I've been averaging $16 per flight to 133 countries so far.
133 countries. Fuck yeah. Oh my God. 133. So, okay. Quick intro. My buddy, Trevor, finally we're doing this. We met in Chiang Mai 2013 of 2014 at the initial conference that I was there. So OG homie, and been following him on Instagram ever since. And he's, like he said, travels the world constantly. And I do not know how this mother bleeper does not have a million followers, or at least 100,000. It's really because he doesn't really he does only word of mouth. He doesn't do any like YouTube video or promotion. It's all just organic people, friends, and clients sharing his Instagram page. So eventually, 2 years ago, I got freaking tired of seeing him post all of his flights and hotels and clients basically staying and flying free. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm signing up for this mile method thing, which is basically the credit card sign up bonus method to stack points, and you use points to book your travel. This thing has the credit card bonus mile thing has been around for ages. And so I signed up for it, and I've already stacked tons of points and flying already 2 business class flights between Asia and the US, totally free. Of course, you have lounge access, some of which serve free flow wine. Here's one of my business class flights. This is me waking up on Snapchat when you sleep and think maybe you're halfway there and you see it's just 2 hours left. 16-hour flight from Singapore to Phuket. And what I didn't actually realize through the years is in business class, you lay down completely flat and you can sleep. And so it's a complete game changer. And so I have tons and tons of points. And so it's freaking awesome. And finally we're doing this. This has been one of my favorite Instagram follows. So for people that don't know, let's quickly go over what is this quote unquote mile method or credit card, bonus mile sign up method. How does it work?
So we should put out a disclaimer that this is for Americans only. Yeah. Because it's all about gaming the US credit card system. And maybe I shouldn't use the word gaming because all of this is completely legal. A lot of people have heard about the system. They haven't looked into it enough because maybe bad experience with not being able to redeem some miles, or what I found working with clients, potential clients, people are just scared of credit cards. They don't understand what they are, how they work. They don't understand the mechanics behind them. So what I've been doing since 2011 for myself, for my parents, for my friends, it's very simple, actually. You apply for a credit card. You must spend a certain amount, depending on the credit card, to earn its bonus. Once you spend the minimum, they give you 50, 60, 100,000 miles, and then you move on to the next card. Now, that's the simplified version. What I do for my clients is there's a lot of behind the scenes details that I manage because I'm obsessed with this. I love it. Even after doing it for more than a decade, I still enjoy this. So my clients don't have to constantly read the news, like the points guy you just pulled up, all these different deals, rules, hotel rules, airline rules, credit card rules. It changes constantly. But what Americans should understand is that it's literally clicking buttons and earning free flights and free hotels. Mm-hmm. That is, and we can get into it. So yeah, I've been doing this for a decade, and $16 per flight, staying in some of the nicest hotels around the world for free.
Boom. That's it. So, yeah. So, to explain kind of what Trevor's service is, So he basically does all the busy work, and he has a consultation package to basically handle as do as much of a done for you as you can. And so I signed up for this. I was just like, I'm friggin' doing this. And obviously the ROI on this is, multiple 10x. And so the core of it is this spreadsheet. So I'll give you a quick glance. This is mine. So I've 1, 2, 3, I've probably gotten like maybe 12, 15 cards so far. And the average sign up bonus is like he said, 50 to 100,000 points, and it has the date that you should click the application, the minimum spend requirement, and everything is just tracked here with the exact dates. And so every 3 months, basically, he tells you 3 new credit cards to sign up for. And the thing that I actually didn't realize is there's no limit to the amount of credit cards you can have. You can have dozens and dozens, and actually, the more that you have, the better your credit score gets. So my credit score is better than starting, and it's just funny. It's just literally taking advantage of the system that is in place. These credit card companies, of course they want people to sign up to use the card, and that's how they make money. They're printing money that doesn't even exist. But if you just do it smartly, you can collect the sign up bonuses, and some of them you can avoid the annual fees. Yes, some of them you have to eat the annual fees, but you're racking up thousands and thousands of dollars in free flights. With the points that I've gotten so far, just in like 13 months or something like that, about a year and a half or something like that, is the business class flights value is about $40,000, and the economy value, what I would have spent on economy flights, is about $10,000 worth of economy flights. So yeah, really cool.
It's real. It's that's my biggest obstacle, is convincing people, Americans, that this is real. It exists and you can do it. So I guess I'll go back to one thing you mentioned, is that I don't do social media, and there's a reason for that. What I do for clients is a one-on-one service, and I'm the only one doing this. The reason being is it's time intensive. Whenever people learn that I'm a miles and points geek, they always mention the points guy. He has the biggest SEO presence. This guy's everywhere. If you Google anything related to the travel hacking, miles, hotel points, first top 3 searches will be the points guy. His model is affiliate links, so he makes money on commissions. But by reading random articles, applying for random credit cards, you don't maximize the bonuses to get to 1 million miles within 18 months, because there's a certain sequence that you have to do all of this. And that's what I've been doing for you, and you just click the links I tell you to click.
Yep, exactly. So you have to put that another way, you kind of have to start with easier to get approved cards, and then move up to the more advanced or harder to get approved ones. Is that a way to summarize it?
It depends. There's certain cards that you apply for first, because each bank has its own rules. Each card has its own individual rules. And those are things, there's no rhyme or reason. You just have to study this and know this. So anyone could learn this, but I've been doing this for a decade, and I'm still learning things, both on the earning side and on the redeeming side. So there's kind of 2 parts to all of this. You have to earn the miles and points before you can actually redeem them for free flights and free hotels.
Right. Okay. And so one of the top questions I get is like, is this legal? And then I give them my spiel, which is same thing as your spiel. What's your spiel on that? What's the big picture?
So the big picture is, you can't force the banks to give you credit cards. They run algorithms. They look over your overall profile to see if you're creditworthy, which basically involves looking at your credit scores, your application history, your cancellation history, and to a certain extent, how much you spend on the cards as well. It's basically you're gaming the algorithm. So on paper, I've been approved personally myself for 150 some credit cards. So if someone says, is this legal? My response is, why do they keep giving me new cards? They want me as a customer, because on paper, I'm the perfect customer. Even though I'm actually redeeming these miles and points for free flights, whereas I believe it's 75% of airline miles and hotel points go unredeemed. So we're winning, whereas others are not.
Yeah. For most people, you know, they're not gaming the system and stacking the points. For most people, you know, they'll run up debt and they'll be paying interest fees every month, and that's how they how the banks make money,
Yeah,
loaning out
there's
money that they don't
so
have.
let me think this through. There's about 4 different ways that banks make money. Annual fees on credit card will avoid if at all possible. Some of them you actually want to pay if an annual fee is charged upfront. To give you a real world example, there's a credit card that charges $75 upfront, which means you pay it the first month after you're approved for the credit card. But the equivalent bonus I once redeemed for a first class from Hawaii to Denver, stayed in Denver for 6 months, and then flew to Ecuador for a single credit card bonus. So essentially I paid $75 for a first class from Hawaii to Denver, Denver to Ecuador. So you should do that every day.
Yeah.
The other ways the banks make money: annual fees, late fees when people don't pay their bills on time, which you should never do. Merchant fees. So a big part of our system that people don't understand is that every time you spend money, the establishment with which you're spending money pays a fee to the banks. So it's a pyramid scheme. The more you spend, the more money that the banks earn. So the fact that people like us game the system and win, 99% of people are not winning. They're earning money for the banks.
Yeah. True that. Yeah. Like one of the things I throw out is like yeah, it's gaming the system. But if you're worried about little old Riley or little old Trevor gaming the system, don't get all up in arms about us before you get up in arms about your banks, who they're lending money to people, millions and billions of dollars that doesn't exist, and collecting interest on that. That's one. They also the banks fucking failed in 2008 and they got bailed out. Like, where's all of our where's our bailout money? You know, so it's basically like
this gets into
banks
more of
have
a
been people for centuries. This is the very least we could and should be doing to fucking to take back, to make it, you know, what we can, to do what we can to take advantage of the rules.
It's a love-hate relationship, because I think you and we've gone deeper down the banking rabbit hole than most.
Yeah.
And if you understand how banks do business, it's not always ethical. So by doing everything, by following the rules so well that they give you free flights and free hotels, I see nothing wrong with that, especially since it's completely legal.
Yep. And so the next thing is regarding the minimum spend. Like I got a lot of questions on my Instagram recently. Oh, how much did you have to spend to get all those points? I'm like, first of all, the points don't come from the spend. The points come from the sign up bonus by meeting the initial minimum spend, which is usually about 4 to 5K in the first 3 months, which for a normal person, if just your daily spending, you can meet. But there are some online tips and tricks to meet that minimum spend quicker and easier. Can you talk about some of those things?
So, first of all, you're absolutely right. The way to earn as much free travel as possible in the shortest amount of time is the sign-up bonuses. I've been doing this for a decade. I'm obsessed. I research constantly. There is no faster way to earn free travel than sign-up bonuses. So everyone talks about, you might see the commercials for Capital One where they promote 2 points per dollar or 3 points per dollar. If you're allocating your spend toward sign-up bonuses, you're earning 20 to 40 points per dollar. So just think about that. most people think that 2 to 3 points per dollar is good. But if you allocate your normal spending exclusively towards earning sign-up bonuses, you're getting 20 to 40 points per dollar. That adds up very, very quickly, especially when a single sign-up bonus could be a US to Europe or Asia one-way business class. What people don't realize is that these business class one-ways often cost $5,000 to $10,000, $13,000.
Yeah.
And that's a single bonus. So getting back to your question about tricks for spending. 10 years ago, there used to be a lot of tricks. There used to be a lot of ways to move money around where it would show up as a transaction and count towards meeting the minimum spend on your credit cards. Unfortunately, a lot of these are going away. So it does help if you have some actual spending. If you spend in your real life, if a potential client comes to me and they tell me they spend $500 a month, it's going to be tough because that means you're barely able to meet one single credit card spending requirement. So I've gotten to the point where I have turned away people who don't spend enough because there are advanced level tricks, mostly involving buying gift cards or money orders. And a lot of that has now become US based. And I don't personally do it. It's not a good ROI on your time. So I would suggest you should look into the system if you have actual spending.
Got it. Yeah. If your monthly card spending is, like an average American is going to spend, fucking at least $3K a month.
And that's plenty. If you spend $2,000 to $3,000 a month, you're going to do fine with the system. Because I would customize which cards you apply for based on your spending. So I would say 2,000 is about the minimum I would suggest that you really go hard with this.
Got it. Cool. And so that's with personal. And so a whole nother side of this is actually business cards. And that's where you can actually rack up a lot of spend, especially if you're in e-commerce doing ad spend. So I should have done this years ago with my e-commerce business with Amazon ad spend. Recently, we got the business MX Business Gold, and we're earning 4x points on ad spend. So that's all actually where a lot of points come from too, because we're doing 10,000 a month on ad spend. We're getting 40,000 points a month, 400,000 points a year. And so that is 4 business class one ways for free
or more
per year.
Yeah.
And so it's about 70,000. I rounded up to 100,000 just to be conservative for a free business class flight from Bangkok to Seattle. 4 of those free. So just by signing up for that card, Parker and I now fly back and forth between Asia and America for free for the rest of our lives, basically.
Yes.
Business class.
Have you ever checked the paid fare to see what those first class flights would actually cost?
Yeah, usually retail is about $4,000 to $5,000.
That must be really cheap right now. I had a client recently who flew nonstop from JFK to Tokyo, first class. It was 70,000 miles plus $19. And that one-way flight on Japan Airlines would have normally cost $15,000. So that's he paid 70. He paid it as that. And of course, it depends on the route. It depends on the date. But he paid a $75 annual fee, redeemed it for a $15,000 flight plus $19.
Oh, you can get those first class ones for around though sometimes.
Yep. So those are the types of things that. So there's 2 different people I work with. I would say about half the people are digital nomads like yourself, like myself, who we're moving, we're traveling constantly. I even fly economy probably 75% of the time for several reasons, but mostly I just want to save my miles. If you fly business or first class, it requires 3 to 4 times as many miles. So I still fly economy, but it depends on your situation. You are spending a lot with ads and you're earning a lot of miles, so you can fly business and first class every time now.
Yeah. If you have a business, it's like it's hindsight. It's stupid to not be. And in the MX Business School, it seems to be universally the best. It's 4x on ad spend. It's 4x on whatever your biggest category is, which it could be whatever mark. It could be consulting fees, and so yeah. If you have a business, that's why it's called business class, right? If you have a business, you should be flying business class free. Like you should not be paying for flights, at least long flights. And back to the economy versus business. If it's a short flight, inter-country or like 2 hours, then yeah, I'll do economy. But if it's a overseas flight, then yeah, business. Because the whole point of it is you can lay flat, sleep like a bed. And I've only
That
experienced it twice in my life, thanks to knowing Trevor and having the excuse to do it. And let me tell you, boys and girls, it's the best fucking thing ever. Obviously, you're fucking laying flat. Just my first time experiencing that, it was just like, boom, mind blown, good sleep. Like,
your
it's
comment today surprised me when you said you didn't realize until recently that you could
yeah,
sleep in a bed on a plane. That should
yeah,
have been my lead with you. Hey, Riley, do you like sleeping when you're crossing oceans? We can do that.
exactly. That's what I was telling you. Like on your homepage, you need a picture of that because for whatever reason, I guess I never realized that growing up or whatever. I thought it was like maybe only special airlines, but like because all I really knew as just like well, a lot of Americans didn't fucking travel before. As a nomad, didn't fucking travel at all. As many Americans don't travel overseas, in the normal life. And so all I know is like when you walk in the plane, you see those business class section. But at that point, you don't see any laid down flat. You only see that because people only lay down when you're mid flight and
Yep.
usually only on longer flights. So maybe going to Hawaii or something like that.
And
And so,
especially the carriers between the U.S., a lot of them have private suites, private cabins. Uh, Emirates has
yeah,
I flew Emirates first class. I took a shower at 35,000 feet. It's
fuck
as
yeah.
fun as it sounds.
That's fucking awesome. And then we can get into like, yeah, those crazy Emirates ones and like first class and like there's crazy stuff. Like once you start stacking points, um, can you say like how many like points you have? Like, because like you're basically you could get these like first class Emirates ones like no problem, right?
So I flew Emirates. My parents have both flown Emirates first class. I've flown Emirates first class. Unfortunately, it's become very difficult to book Emirates first class now with miles. Business
Mm.
class is still very obtainable, but first class is a little bit more difficult now.
Mhm.
Currently, I have 6 million miles, and I do not spend a lot of money. I do no advertising. My
Yeah,
daily expenses are very low, and that's another reason why I mostly still fly economy, even though I can book business or first class anytime I want. Um,
mhm.
I actually sell my miles as well as a little side business, which I don't want to make too public, but there's a lot of different ways to benefit from the system. So besides free flights, free hotels, for a decade now, I fly my parents all over the world.
Yeah,
I make a little extra cash selling miles. Um, it really blows my mind that more Americans don't do this. And
yeah,
again, that's partly on me because maybe I'm not doing the best job of educating people that shouldn't be as intimidating as it may seem.
yeah,
And it's much more lucrative, definitely, than people realize. So,
yeah.
got to get the
Yeah,
word out.
especially when you calculate the business class retail price. Like so, I've made $40,000 worth of flights in about a year and a half, and paid your $1,500 fee. And
How many
when you
miles do you have left
calculate
over right
in
now?
when you calculate in the credit card fees, um, and annual fees, okay, like a couple $1,000, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's definitely less than 40,000, and it's definitely less than 10,000. Maybe it's, let's just say $1,000 or maybe even $2,000 in fees or whatever. Okay, I don't care. Just the economy retail value is over $10,000. So that's the money that I would have spent to travel if I had not signed up for this. I would have spent $10,000, and now that's free. I've only paid your fee and some credit card fees. You can't avoid the 3% or some annual fees.
Yeah. So on the
And
screen,
then,
here's a good example. Just sorry to interrupt.
uh,
These are my flights from 2021. So I flew 31 flights. Brazil, the U.S., Europe, even Asia when I was in the Maldives a month ago. And the average cost per flight was $6.69. Now, those are the taxes that you pay when you book a flight with different airlines. There's airport taxes, different fees, but they're generally very low. So of these 31 flights, only 2 of them were business class. I flew from North Carolina to Istanbul, business class. That was a $5,000 flight. So I redeemed 70,000 miles, which is about a single credit card sign-up bonus for $5,000 worth of business class flights. Everything else is economy. And then a month ago, after 10 nights in private island resorts in the Maldives, I flew Singapore Airlines business class from Mali to California. And that was also a $5,000 business class, which was also a single credit card bonus. So 2 sign-up bonuses were $10,000 worth of business class flights, to say nothing of the other 29 economy flights that were an average of $7.
wow. Yeah. Did you say Mali, like Africa?
Oh, I'm sorry, Maldives, the capital of the
Maldives.
Maldives.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
You've been all over Africa. I mean, you've been to 133 countries.
156, because I did quite a bit of traveling before all of this.
Oh, wow.
But with miles, 133 countries. Yep.
Wow. 156. Oh my goodness. Nice. Are you gonna try to visit every country?
COVID kind of put a kink in that plan.
Yeah.
It is getting more annoying to try to figure out some of these countries' regulations. So it was never my goal to visit every country, but when I was in a new region, I would definitely make it a point to try to visit new places, and I'll continue to do that. But COVID, man, it's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right now. But anyway, we got a long life to live, no rush.
Yep.
Just stacking points. Yeah, it's great. Finally, I've probably asked you to do a podcast fucking probably 2-3 years ago, and then we never got around to it. And now that finally I'm doing it, and I've taken already my first 2 business class flights for free, and now Parker's starting to do the same thing. His credit score is now mid 70s from starting to do this, and with our a huge thing is put our e-commerce ad spend on the cards. Like just that, you're going to be racking it up. But you may need, for some folks, to build your credit up first to get approved for that boss card. So hit up Trevor and he'll give you a plan. Just freaking sign up for his plan. Like,
and that I do remember that was a situation when we started.
yeah,
I forget what exactly your credit scores were, but they were on
it
the
was in 600s.
yeah, it was below 700, I believe. And
Yeah,
I told you, look, we need to work up to the big boy cards.
yeah,
We might need to build up your credit, because another misconception, applying for multiple credit cards hurts your credit score. It doesn't.
mhm,
One of the major factors, there's different factors, some of them have more weight on your credit scores, but one of the factors, a minor one, is having diverse accounts. So if you have multiple credit cards, basically that tells the banks that multiple institutions have vouched for you. So if one bank says, you know what, Riley's a good guy, he's trustworthy, he's paying his bills, we'll give him a card too. it just takes pressure off of their systems because you come vouched. So that's one way to think of how having multiple credit cards actually improves your credit scores. And then a few other factors: just never miss payments, never carry balances, and that's really it. If you do that, your credit scores will increase as you're approved for more cards and bigger credit lines.
Yeah. So, so something that I didn't know at first is so yeah, obviously you won't pay any interest if you're not carrying a balance after your closing date. And so what you actually want to, there's a closing date and then a due date. And the statement closing date, you want to have less than 25% of your available credit as a balance, and then just pay that all off by the due date. The closing date might be the 10th, the due date might be the 20th. So when the closing date crosses, you want to show, because that's when the snapshot gets sent to the credit bureaus. You want to show that snapshot to the credit bureaus that this guy is only using less than 25% of his available balance. So responsible or whatever, not using too much. And then your auto pay will pay off the full thing on the due date. That's
a good point. So the snapshot, the closing, okay, every credit card has a 30-day statement period. So during that statement, you can use, let's say you have a credit card with a $10,000 credit line. You can spend $10,000. That's fine, as long as you pay it off before the statement closing date, which is the date that the bank sends that credit report to the credit bureaus. So what Riley was saying is, you definitely want to pay, if you have a $10,000 credit card, you do not want to let that statement close with $2,500 or more. As long as it's $2,500 or less or zero, your credit scores will improve.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's it. It's very simple once you kind of understand that concept.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I do is turn on auto pay right away the first day, full statement balance, and you're basically done. There are some little tricks, like if you spend, let's say the credit limit is 5,000 and you spend 4,000 to meet that minimum spend requirement in the first month, make sure before the statement closing date, pay it off to like 1,000 right away, just
or zero. Yeah.
Quick payment. So is it the same? Is it you can pay it off to zero and it has the same effect as having like 10 or 20% of the credit, or is it better for you to have some small balance?
That's really a myth. A lot of people think that they need to let the statement close with a certain amount of spending to show activity. I found that it really doesn't matter. If simplifying your life by paying it to zero makes you at peace, do it. It's
okay.
It's really a minor thing in the big picture of your credit scores. And I guess while we're on the topic, so if you're doing this system where you're simply allocating your normal spend towards earning sign-up bonuses, you're going to have multiple cards. And for a lot of people, that sounds scary. Like, oh my God, I'm going to have 10 credit cards. How am I going to manage it all? Very simply, just focus on one credit card at a time. That's it. So once you're approved for a credit card, let's say you have to spend $3,000 within 3 months, focus all your spending on that credit card, groceries, cell phone bills, Uber, whatever your expenses are, focus it on a single card. Once you spent that 3,000, pay it off, throw it in a drawer, move on to the next card. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally how I frame it in some of the posts I write. Once you meet the minimum spend, literally fucking snap it in half and forget about it. You're done. It does not hurt your credit score if you don't make a single purchase ever again with that.
I wouldn't recommend snapping it in half, because there are times where you might want to use that card again for a hotel benefit, where you might actually want to spend on it later.
Because those are usually online purchases. So as long as you just take a picture of the number and store those in a secret file. That's what I do.
Yeah, I do that too. You know what's funny about that? I have a box full of credit cards,
Yeah.
And at this point, because I'm in 3-player mode because I manage my parents' credit cards and my credit cards. So I have a lot of old credit cards, and I'm saving them for some type of art project in the future when I have a
Sick, yeah.
property, and like maybe cutting them using some type of laser printer and making a big map on the wall. I haven't decided what to do,
Ooh.
but I have a lot of old credit cards. I'm going to do
Yeah,
some interesting projects.
that's actually sick. Yeah. It's kind of like I'm sure with SIM cards is the same thing. Do you save those by chance?
So I use Google Fi. I'm really all
Ah,
about simplifying my life lately. So even though it does end up costing quite a bit more, I don't really mess with SIM cards. I just use Google Fi all the time.
nice. Seems to be, yeah. I do have it as well. I've talked about it. I love it as a backup SIM card for for if you, when you arrive in a new country on the runway landing, switch that backup SIM card. You're connected. If you don't have time to stop to get a local SIM card, then you're still good.
Yeah, I would say if you're staying anywhere for more than a month, it makes sense to get a local SIM card. Even a month depends how much hassle you want to go through. I ran into an interesting situation when I flew to Ukraine 3 months ago. You need to download an app for their COVID regulations in order to enter the country, but they can only send a text to a local Ukrainian phone number. So
Yeah.
I was in no man's land in the Ukrainian airport because I didn't have a local Ukrainian phone number. I couldn't receive a local text message. And I was stuck in no man's land at immigrations for about 4 hours until I finally convinced a security guy, like, hey, please, can I go buy a SIM card? Can you accompany me? We'll go buy a SIM card. And we did. He took me through security. I bought a local Ukrainian SIM card, received this stupid verification text message so I could go through immigration. So I will not be losing that Ukrainian SIM card for the next time I enter Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah. There are
these are
cases
things
where
you learn along the way.
what was that last part?
These are things you learn along the way.
Yeah. 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 Um, yeah, I recommend. And for Google Fi, a cool thing is you can do an eSIM now. And with new iPhones, you can have that eSIM just installed. Don't even need a physical SIM. It's just always on your phone. Just turn it, activate it when you need it, and it's like your phone is always connected worldwide now, no matter what,
Yep.
basically.
Yep.
Yeah. And in the future, near future, we're gonna have fucking Starlink satellite cell phone connectivity. So even if you're in the middle of the ocean, you're still good.
That day can't come soon enough.
Yeah. uh, fucking yeah. Oh my God. What else do we need to let people know? Freaking sign
I'm
up.
curious about
Get it.
your future plans. What are you going to do with all your miles? What's on the radar?
So yeah, you mentioned flying your parents out. I was going to talk about that. Yeah. So that's another huge, huge thing. Huge thing is flying your parents because our parents need the lay flat more than us.
Yes.
And they need the excuse because our parents, they don't like long flights. Like us younger guys, we're like and us frequent travelers, nomads, we fucking eat those 20-hour economy flights. Fucking not phase does they don't phase me at all anymore. I fucking enjoy them. I love getting up like 3 times and going walk to the back and do some yoga stretches in the back. It's just fucking exciting, for us travel bug motherfuckers. But for the average person, it's like, oh, 12-hour flight. Oh my
You know,
God. It's like getting fucking surgery. But when you say, don't worry, not only is it totally free for you, mom and dad, but you can lay down flat, sleep, take a fucking sleeping pill or whatever, weed candy, and you'll be out and you'll wake up and you'll be almost there.
I made the mistake of booking my dad Emirates first class with a stand-up lounge, private bar, and private spa with shower. Now he thinks every airline, every flight should have a shower on it. So I will say that once you start upping your travel, flying business class, first class, staying in 5-star hotels, there is a danger involved because it does make going back to the hostel, to the shitty $10 a night hotel, makes it much more difficult. Even flying economy, after experiencing some
Yeah.
of these very, very luxurious flights,
Yeah.
it's
I would
tougher.
say that the
So
second one definitely true. Once you go business class, you don't want to go back. Um, um, so, but the good thing is you don't have to. You don't have to. You know, well, everyone's situation is a bit different. You know, if you're a couple and maybe you have 2 or 3 kids, maybe you don't have enough points for business class for everyone, but at least you're flying free. But you know, if you're single or only a couple, then especially if you have a business, you deserve and should be flying business class for free, for sure.
and and couples have the advantage of doing this in 2-player mode, so you can
Yeah,
2x your bonuses. You can
yeah,
you
you both do it.
you can stay in twice as many free hotels, fly twice as many flights. So especially for a couple, I have several clients who come to me exclusive to plan for a honeymoon. So with enough lead time, I would say 9 to 12 months is a good period to earn enough miles and points to go anywhere in the world, 5-star hotels, business class flights for 2 people. So a lot of these honeymoons end up being $25,000 to $40,000 worth of free travel, flights, and hotels for the equivalent of perhaps 8 bonuses per person. And 8 bonuses you can do within 6 months. So $40,000 honeymoon for clicking buttons for 4 hours maybe, and being a little bit more organized with your spend.
Yeah,
That's a good ROI.
for sure. And so the hotels thing is something I haven't even redeemed yet. But so that's a whole nother point of Trevor's thing is he stays in hotels for free. And so it and like so it's the big two are like the Marriott network and like the Hilton network.
Hilton, IHG, Hyatt, those are the major brands. Yeah.
Basically all of like the major hotel brands, you can pretty much stay in any of those using points. I was just looking up in Bangkok, um, what's like an average night at a place like this, Conrad, like nice hotel, or Marriott or something, and it's like 20, 10 or 10,000 points for like one night.
So it differs between hotel brands and by region, because cheaper regions have lower costs, have a lower cost of living, which means the point redemptions reflect that as well. So for example, Hiltons in the United States are generally not a very good deal. So one Hilton in major cities like Los Angeles or New York might cost 50,000 to 80,000 points, hotel points. Whereas in Bangkok, because of the lower cost of living, a nicer hotel might only cost 30,000 points per night. So that means you can get twice as many free hotel nights in regions like Southeast Asia, Latin America, Eastern Europe than you would inside the United States. So I advise
Yeah.
a lot of people to hold on to your hotel points until you're in a region where you can get the best value. So
Yeah.
some of these videos are from when I was in Brazil. I spent 6 months in Brazil this year. And it's a great region of the world points because the cost of living is low, which means the point redemptions are lower. So your hotel points go farther.
Yeah. It's like a quasi a dollar value. Just for the Southeast Asia folks that followed me, like in Bangkok, I think it was like basically around 10K points a night, something like that for a nice hotel, Hilton, and so one Barclays card or one Amex Hilton card that I just signed up for 70,000 bonus miles, or fucking what even is it? 130K. That's a big one.
Yeah, so
So I
that's actually
basically
100.
got like,
That's 190 after you meet the total spends.
yeah,
So
190 apps. Yeah, there can be a minimum a bonus one and then a secondary bonus, guys. Sometimes, if you do more spend. So basically, for that, for clicking buttons, I got, yeah, basically 2 weeks of free hotels, and I'm going to use those in chunks. Whenever I need to do a weekend in Bangkok, or fucking I'm in a pinch and I need a room, fucking free.
So Riley, here's another aspect that you may not know yet. So certain hotel programs have additional benefits for redeeming hotel points. So Hilton, if you redeem 5 consecutive nights, you get the 5th night free. So that 190,000 Hilton bonus, if it's 10,000 per night, it's actually much more than 19 free hotel nights. It's what's 19 divided by 5? That's
So
it's
you get
actually 23 to 24 hotel nights, because if you redeem in 5-night chunks, you get the 5th night free. And there's a few different benefits like that with different hotel brands.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. So yeah, boom, 20% more right there. And so that's 3 weeks of staying free. If I, the retail value on that is, these a room like this is usually like $60 a night, or if this is fucking, I don't know, this is probably let's just say $60 a night, times.
And not only that, there's also credit card benefits for free breakfast. So we're talking free buffet breakfast, which is very nice in Bangkok, in Thailand, Asia, pretty much everywhere outside the US. The hotels are nicer, unless you're staying very upscale in, say, a Ritz-Carlton in the United States. So there are certain benefits such as free upgrades, free breakfast. I mean, even this right here, this was a hotel in Turkey where I stayed this year. I had a bottle of champagne waiting for me in the room. I had free snacks, free breakfast. And then certain hotels also offer free executive lounge access in the evening, which means you get free drinks and free food also in the evening. So free breakfast and then free dinner, basically, and then drinks. So
yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. You can
yeah,
really
so here you
up.
can see this video is showing the room's free amenities. And the reason I received these free amenities is because the credit card benefit gave me status. So most people believe that you only get hotel status by spending a lot of money with the hotel, but you don't need to. You can apply for a single credit card and bypass all of that and go straight to the elite status for free breakfasts, free drinks, free everything.
Right, because that card holds the elite status.
Yes,
In it,
simply by having the card.
Simply by having the card. Yeah, exactly. And not to mention all the free airport lounges and
I
stuff.
never step foot inside an airport without getting free food and drinks.
Yeah, exactly. This guy never pays for fucking bottled water or fucking Starbucks in the airport. No. That's definitely for sure. Yeah, and it's fucking, some lounges are super nice. Freaking massages in them and stuff. So, luxury travel, is part of the dream. Part of the imagery of living, of making it in life, of the dream life, of the dream of so many guys and girls. When I ask people, "Hey, what's your dream?" "Oh, I want to travel the world and make a lot of money." And one of the just symbols of that is flying business class. And so that's the coolest thing that I have now unlocked in my life. Um, it just makes you feel like, it makes you feel rich. It makes you feel like a boss. Just to always be going business class, and that's my favorite thing about this. Now taking advantage of what we can do as Americans, and also being in the nicest lounge in the airport, and being in the hotels, and it's free, and you just have that status, and then you check in. Let's say you're taking a date. It's like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Bennett. Are you a fucking platinum member?" And then you get in there, and it's champagne, and it's like treated so well. And it's, that's the kind of big picture, philosophy I'm seeing, is just by doing these little hacks is you get to experience this luxury travel stuff, and you don't. It's right there.
Another, you could think of miles and points as another tool or as another currency. I mean, if you're exchanging miles and points for free travel that you would have spent your hard-earned money on anyway, you are saving money that can upgrade your lifestyle in other areas, investing, eating at restaurants, reinvesting in your business, all of that. So if you think about so we met in 2014. We were at a business conference in Chiang Mai. We've both been doing this for 7 years now. We've been running our own businesses. We've been traveling the world. So what is a big component going from wannabe digital nomad to having accessible business that cash flows and allows you to support your life? Arbitrage. Why did we both go to Chiang Mai? We needed to save money. So miles and points, it doesn't matter whether you're just starting or whether you have plenty of money in the bank. You can still save money, which allows you to allocate that money towards other aspects that up-level your life. So sometimes people get too caught up in the minor details of which card should I be using at which restaurant. It doesn't matter. Just get the sign-up bonuses, redeem them for $5,000 business class, live your life, upgrade your life. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, exactly. It comes from the sign-up bonuses because, once again, the banks want to get these. It's like the bait. Hey, they have a system that works for them. They're willing to partner. They're willing to, take a whatever bit of a loss on the upfront because they know the average value, average LTV, as business owners know, of the average American customer is going to be way profitable for them, even with giving away the free stuff. But if you're smart and you just you game the system, then you get all this free stuff.
If you pay off your bills in full, there are only benefits. That's the golden rule of all of this.
Yeah.
Never carry balances, never miss payments.
Yeah.
Pay off your monthly statements in full, and this is only benefits. It is. I often tell people, this is as close to a free lunch that exists in our modern world. And unfortunately, it's only for Americans. Fortunately or unfortunately, fortunately for us, this system is for Americans, and you should be grabbing the low-hanging fruit and up-leveling your life. Our focus is travel. A lot of these bonuses can actually be back. So the card that you were recently approved for, it's a Citibank card. The points can be redeemed for straight up cash to your checking account. If you were short on cash, you could give yourself I believe it's $770 right now, today. You can exchange those points for $770 if you have to. So a lot of people might not be traveling as much as they normally would because of the COVID situation, but there's no reason you shouldn't be stacking these bonuses in the meantime for the moment that you do want to start that incredible honeymoon or that incredible vacation, or just disappear for years and have all your flights and hotels covered.
Yeah.
That's what miles and points can do for you.
Yep. And the Chase. So a little tidbit that I've learned is from you is Chase points. Chase Sapphire points are the most valuable, and so and there's a whole shopping gateway where you can shop for Apple products at it and use points, and shop on Amazon and use points. Obviously, you say you're not going to get the best deal for those. The best redeemable value is always for flights. But if you don't travel that much and you have shitload of points, which it's going to happen for a lot of your clients, it's like, okay, you can do online shopping with it or redeem for cash. And on Amazon, if you have your Chase card added there, it shows you your points right there, and you click a simple button. It says use points. And so pretty cool for Amazon shopping.
Yeah. So let me make a little side note on this. If you're going to redeem points for Amazon or for cashback, the reason it's not the best value is because you're generally getting 1 cent per point. So you can see here that the 80,000 point bonus, they say, is equivalent to $800 in gift cards. That means that they value each one of those points at 1 cent. And for a lot of people, they might see $800. Sounds like a great deal. But they don't realize that that same $80,000 bonus could be transferred to airlines to book a first class one way that would cost $10,000 to $15,000, depending on the route, of course.
Yeah.
So you could get $800 cash, and that's what they want you to do because they know that that's the lower value spectrum, right? They don't, and actually, if you click through the website, you'll see that they kind of hide the transfer button because if they know that you will get more value if you transfer these points to airlines, so they kind of hide it on the website. And even with the Chase Ultimate Rewards points, you can use those points as a rebate against any hotel or any flight, basically as a cashback rebate. And they prominently display that on the website because they want you to get 1 cent per point, because that's a very bad value. If you transfer those same points to airlines, you could be getting 3 to 5 to even 9 cents per point. So obviously, if you plan to travel, you should be points for the higher value when transferred to airlines.
For sure. So yeah, this example of a flight booking thing, we can go in here, redeem miles, Bangkok to Seattle. Seattle. Let's go. Let's do a one way. Boom. This is just fun. This whole thing is like my video game. I love it. It's like ooh, it's like literally, it's like these coins. It's like, ooh, I can get these coins, and these coins are. It's like a real life freaking video game. Yeah, for sure.
I will admit, I spend way too much of my free time just researching random routes to see if I can find loopholes. Just trying to squeeze as much value I can.
Here we go. Now I'm on the right screen. There you go. Yeah, it's 70K, guys. Bangkok to Seattle, business class. So I will be flying my mom out. She's just texting me right now. What's the date? Parker and my mom will both be flying out business class for free. So that's that's a really cool symbolic thing. That's also part of the dream. I talked to many nomads. What's your dream? I want to be able to fly my parents out for free whenever I want, and like business class. Normally, you'd have to drop 5K for a round trip. It's always going to be a round trip for the parents. Normally, you're going to have to drop 10K a pop out of your fucking pocket. Now I can do that.
I don't care who you are. 10,000 is a lot of money. So
yeah,
if you can
exactly.
save
I don't care who you
$10,000,
are. I don't care if you're multimillionaire. It's like 10K. Ooh, maybe I won't fly them out, once a year. Let's do this every 3 years. But now I can fly my parents out virtually anytime, especially now that I have ad spend going. It's virtually unlimited free flights.
Yep. My dad only flies business class. Do you see this picture right here? Dad and I in Red Square in Moscow.
Yeah.
So this was before I met you in Thailand. My dad and I took the Trans-Siberian Railroad from Moscow to Beijing via Mongolia. And then I spent a month traveling from Beijing to Hong Kong and then Hong Kong to Chiang Mai. So all of that happened thanks to miles and points before, I even had this running as a business.
Fuck yeah.
So you're right. If you have a significant other, if you have a girlfriend, a wife, treat your loved ones. You can. This is a system that will allow you to that doesn't just benefit yourself. You can fly friends and family all over the world. That's a huge benefit.
Yeah, for sure. It's a huge thing that I'm excited about. That's been unlocked in my life because, again, it's that symbolizes your status, and it's like, just my mom. I'm just excited about my mom, just to tell her, little friends, yeah, they flew me out business class for free. And it's just like really cool for my mom too, like to be able to brag about. And it's like, oh, your son, oh, he must be successful. He must be a rich multimillionaire man. It's like fucking yeah.
Every trip my dad and I do, he talks to his friends for months afterwards. It's like, ah,
Yeah.
we
Exactly.
drove. I flew business class. I drank champagne, and then we rented a car and we drove the death road recently in in Georgia.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's just, again, don't get bogged down with the details. Think of the experiences. This is a
yeah,
tool to have incredible experiences with people you love. That is
yeah,
real, and that is, I think, very valuable. Obviously, I'm biased.
yeah. No, obviously there's it. There's our other buddy Trevor, who we also met at the conference 2014, and yeah, I love talking about this. One of the most exciting things, obviously, is the experience, because that's the whole point of being a digital nomad is being able to experience this beautiful freaking planet that we live on, and you only live once, and its life is way too short to not experience it in this day and age when we have teleportation machines that we can be virtually anywhere in the planet within a day or 2 days. So uh, come on, folks. We can travel the world, take advantage of it, and oh yeah, guess what? You actually don't even have to pay for it now with good old US of A.
It's real. It's definitely real. It does blow my mind, actually. I've been doing this a long time, and
Yeah,
to fall asleep on one continent and wake up on another, the smells, the sounds, the it's just every day is a learning process. And I think the reason we're still doing this is we still enjoy it, because it is a very strange yet fascinating, fulfilling life to drop into the middle of a foreign exotic location and just figure it out. It is
yeah,
exciting, and again, miles and points to the tool that can make it happen.
yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, guys, freaking follow Trevor and share this on your story so he can get a few more followers. It blows my mind how he does not have more. I brag about knowing this guy, a fair amount. One of my friends, Trevor, he constantly travels the world. Like, how many friends you guys know? Like, they're constantly like every time I check his stories, like he's in a new freaking country. And so there's people that do this. And so if you talk about travel bug, this guy is fucking he's got the addiction for he's fucking the biggest, and that's what they say is travel bug. It's an addiction, it's a lifestyle, and just it's just like any other thing or vice or excitement in life. It gives you that rush, and just like he said, the sounds, the smells, just like landing in Africa is just like so exciting, and it makes you so aware. And being in these foreign environments, and your mind is blown. That like I'm in freaking Africa right now. I'm in freaking Brazil. Like I'm in freaking Antigua. It's just like, is this real? Like we can really teleport around the world? Like we're freaking cyborg aliens, you know? And like only a couple hundred years ago, only 100 years ago, you had to take a boat, and to get to another continent, you're talking about weeks. And now it's just like we live in this whole other fucking Star Wars age, and Elon Musk is going to the moon, any year. Or sorry, there's gonna be people walking on Mars any year, and we could go on and on about this. Like we're gonna be able to redeem points for space tourism flights, which are now coming online, and they're actually a thing. And so we're probably going to go to space. Well, we're definitely going to go to space in our lifetimes. Probably going to go to the moon, at least in orbit around the moon, if not actually walk on the moon in the
Disclaimer:
next.
there's no miles for the moon yet. I'll be on as soon as it's available. I'll be on it.
Yeah, but this is the mind blowing stuff. Like when we're our parents' age, there will be tourism flights, at least to orbit around the moon, if not walk on the moon and come back. Talking 20, 30 years from now, but 20, 30
I would
years ago, we
I would say, knowing what I know about loyalty programs, frequent flyer mile programs, whenever they do make space tourism accessible to the masses, there will be mileage programs without a doubt.
Yeah.
It is for almost all the airlines. I'll speak for the American Airlines, the US based airlines. The frequent flyer programs are the most profitable sector of their business model. So I see no reason why they wouldn't take that business model and apply it to space tourism. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very strange to think about, but it will happen.
Oh yeah. It's yeah, I like to blow people's minds, like hashtag Mars, 2045. That's 25 years ago. We humans are going to be on Mars like in the next, in this decade. It's absolutely mind blowing and more. And space tourism was already coming on. They just did. The Jeff Bezos went to space, and that was a huge. That's one of the things we're going to remember, like when we're really old. Oh, I remember when the CEO of Amazon, went to space, and this is the very beginning of space tourism. And for some of us, I literally wanted to be an astronaut in third grade. I remember it.
Really?
And so I wanted to be an astronaut, and then I also wanted to be an archaeologist because of Indiana Jones. And
Me
so
too.
when I look in hindsight, I'm like, oh, no wonder I'm an explorer type, and I'm an explorer type DNA. And I'm sure you had similar things when you're a kid, being adventurous.
Indiana Jones is classic. So we've been talking a lot about the benefits. There is one danger to all of this. Just like we discussed that once you go business class, it's very difficult to go back to economy. I would say, as I was thinking of preparing for this conversation, like, okay, what are some of the noteworthy, memorable travel experiences I've had? And the danger with being able to go anywhere at any time for basically free is you start to feel that that's normal. I've had National Geographic type experiences, scuba diving in the Galapagos, multiple safaris, game drives all over Africa. And it's just my life. It's just normal. So you really have to maintain a level head to realize this is a moment I need to step back and appreciate, because even you, I watch your stories all the time, and you're on this incredible beach, you're doing this, you're at a party, you're hanging out with these people, you're flying to a new country, you're in a jungle. That's just your life, and it becomes normal. So I think it is important for us as a reminder, and also for anyone who wants to dig into this system, which will allow them to quite literally teletransport from the US to China for $5. It's important that you realize how special this is. This is a moment in time. And I will say that this will not be around forever. It won't. I mean, COVID is a good example of not taking things for granted. And I will say also, disclaimer, I don't plan to be doing this as a business model forever either. So if you're looking for assistance, I will not be doing this forever because it's not a scalable business model. I work one-on-one with clients. It's very time consuming. And then I'm watching your stories. You do a scalable. You're going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And I think I should be moving into that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this is a moment in time. Take advantage, whether you dig into it yourself or you want assistance through my service. We live in an interesting, lucrative time where you can see the world for free.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. This could be called, still the golden age of the points. The points offers may get less and less lucrative. I think that's kind of what you're saying. Hopefully, obviously, we'll continue to be able to travel the world forever. But it is a blessing. It is the most lucky thing. Like throughout most of history, not only did it take weeks, months to cross countries or get fucking anywhere, but we're blessed to even be free citizens in a lot of empires and people who simply did not have freedom. And so that's a whole nother wormhole. But and then another big potential thing to watch out for, or danger is, if you're not responsible with spending, then don't rack up your credit cards. So if you're not a responsible spender, or you never have been, it's not for you. Because if you're the type of person that you're like, well, I do have so much credit limit, maybe I'll just go buy this that I wouldn't normally. So be
Yes.
aware of that. Like, you got to be responsible, obviously, to not go rack it up.
Golden rule: you always pay off your bills in full, and you never spend more than you normally spend. You simply allocate your normal spending towards earning sign-up bonuses. That's it. So you're right.
Yeah.
If you feel that you can't control your spending, this is not for you. So you need to get control of that situation.
Yeah. It's like, I know some people where it's like, they are impulsive, some people are impulsive buyers. It's okay. And especially if they get a new credit card, they see that, $10,000 available credit, and they'll just be like, they're impulsive, and they're just not disciplined spender. It's okay. I'll pay it off. I can, I'll eat the fee. I'll go buy this, that, and the whatever.
That's the other side of the coin. That's why the banks are handing out these credit cards, because they know statistically the great majority of people will fall into those traps. So I cannot emphasize the golden rule enough. You must pay off your monthly bills in full in order to have only benefits and not fall into these traps that the banks are setting for you. If you can pay off your bills in full, you can travel the world for almost free. It's that simple.
Yeah. All right. Finally, first comment. Leave your comments for bros watching. Intuitive travel. Hardest part about this lifestyle is knowing what to do with all your extra free time. That's a whole nother philosophical discussion that I talk about, and it's a good problem to have. And it's everyone has their own life journey, and the first goal is to try to get there, which is kind of what my whole freaking brand, living that life, is all about. Is get to that first step in life where your income is taken care of from online businesses, and so you can actually focus on what you enjoy doing, which for some people, they don't know that yet. So that's the whole 4-hour work week philosophy that I'm a prophet of. Use the internet and online businesses and all these tools and apps and Shopify and Amazon and YouTube and all these things to create passive income streams, so we can focus our time, most of our days and weeks, to focus on whatever we want to do. And so this happened with my younger brother. So he got into Amazon selling, and for the past 5 years hasn't needed a job and makes great money. And he's come out to visit a couple times, 3 times, and having a conversation with my younger brother, he's like, yeah, it's like, now I just need to figure out what I want to do with my life. It's like, that's the whole thing about jobs. Is the normal plan is to have a job 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, so we don't even have this free space to even contemplate. It's just like, what do you do with it? Well, I work, and your life revolves around your work. Monday through Friday, January through December, fucking 23 to fucking 63, and then you're fucking tired, or fucking probably 70. But anyways, philosophical discussion because of this little tangent. Well, then you realize you have to think life is very monotonous. Why is life very monotonous? That's you. That's your. That's because.
This is an important comment. I have a friend. He He's my age, 38. He's retired because he's ex-military. So he's having monthly income. He's in the situation where he doesn't have to worry about money, and he's traveling the world. And he comes to me to advice. He comes to me for advice. And I told him recently that you must find a hobby, because if you're traveling the world and doing nothing in exotic locations, you're still doing nothing, and that will make what should be this dream lifestyle not necessarily a positive lifestyle. You must have a hobby. And that's why I think what you do with the videos you put out is actually very inspiring, because a major component, and one that I'm not doing great with right now, is the health aspect. If you have to have balance. So you have your online business, you make money. That's important. You need money to fund the lifestyle. But you also need hobbies to keep your mind busy and active and not exclusively on your work. But a major component to stay emotionally well-balanced, mentally well-balanced, is working out. Like, you must stay healthy in all of this, or it's all for nothing. And you're doing a great job of that. I see your videos, and you make me feel like a lazy pile, because I'm not, I'm not and my excuse has been I move around too much, but that's a weak excuse. You can always find time for the gym, and it's very important. I cannot emphasize that enough.
100%. Life's a balance, and I say that way too much. Actually, one of my exes, that was her meme, is she hates every time I say life's a balance, because it's like it's one of my mantras that I say. Yeah, life's a balance, because like relationship is a balance, and this little thing that I pulled up. So, balancing your love life, your social life, business, fitness, love life, spirituality, and then I also say adventure. I've actually made a graph like this. I don't have time to pull it up myself, but I think about this so fucking often. And this is also part of the 4-hour work week, philosophy, is life is a balance. And being a lifestyle entrepreneur is about achieving lifestyle balance. 4-hour work week, it's like, okay, you have business, take care of that so you can focus on balancing your life, learning interesting skills, your love life, and your health. Tim Ferriss is also a fucking health guy. And with the working out, just some quick tips for, and if you guys are watching this far, then you're fucking OGs. Smash that fucking like button and share this on your Instagram story. Tag us both. And much of life this is also a Tim Ferriss thing. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out around most. And so I've been blessed to hang out around. So my best friend Danny, I grew up with, is a fucking freak athlete, football coach guy. And he's my best friend and works out fucking religiously every fucking day. And so you're average of the people you hang out around most. And so that's just a tip. Another quick tip is you can Google on my channel, living that life, hotel workout. And it's called the 300 workout. And I was actually having this conversation with someone just yesterday. We're talking about working out and traveling, and yeah, here it is, the freaking thumbnail. And it's called the 300 workout. Basically, when you're traveling and you don't have time to go to the gym, you just do 300 reps of body weight stuff. The most common thing I do is 25, 25, 25, 25 push-ups, air squats, sit-ups, Russian twists. That's 100. Repeat that 3 times. If you're new, just do it 1 time. It's just 100 body weight reps. And after about 100 or 150, so halfway through, you're going to start sweating. And I usually turn my aircon off, because like in the hotel, it's way too cold. And I hate like aircon when I work out, and it makes you sweat more and feel better about yourself and feel better. And so this quick tip that I share with people all the time. I have videos, and it's been a little travel hack for frequent travelers. And you can do this quickly first thing in the morning. For a lot of people, we become addicted to working out, and that's where you want to get to. Same exact thing. How people get addicted to coffee, it becomes they need it just to feel back to normal or fully awake. And actually, it's a recent YouTube video I just watched. It actually has a 10 minutes on the treadmill has the same biochemical effect as a cup of coffee in terms of the alertness, orexin hormones that are going on. And so you can do this first thing in the morning. Anyway, I'm now ranting about.
So another aspect I would add to all of this is that, of course, we're talking benefits of this travel lifestyle, of all of this. It's not always easy. Being dropped into an entirely new culture, even after doing this half my life, there are times where the culture shock, even to a certain extent, the loneliness, it can be a battle. So the another reason why exercise is so important is that rush of good energy it gives you. You get a workout in, and your life is more positive. Your outlook is more positive, and it helps you navigate the inevitable culture shock that you will have as you're navigating the world. Like I said, dropping into unfamiliar places, not having a set social circle, maybe not having a significant other. If you can approach all of that from a place of health, which that post-workout glow, it makes the whole experience more positive. And again, that's why I think what you do is incredible, because you have the discipline and you've been doing it. And I lately have not. And I do, from being a former athlete, I know how much better life is when you're fit and working out regularly, especially when you're combating these types of culture shocks that you will feel as you're traveling.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not purely aesthetic. It's necessary for your mental well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. People who say like people in the US, their doctors are prescribing fucking benzodiazepines and antidepressants, and they're not saying, no wonder you're not fucking exercising ever. Your body needs to exercise. One fucking workout is a fucking antidepressant, way better natural cure. And so,
and you can start slow. It can be as simple as walking around the block, fresh air, just getting the blood going. And not only that, I mean, you can go to a new neighborhood, exercise in, and who knows, during that walk, you might run into that pretty girl. You might find a new coffee shop where you want to bring your laptop. There's only benefits to staying healthy on the road. So
100%. And little tidbit, quick tip is what I found is right when I arrive at a place, I put on my workout gear in the hotel and go to the hotel gym. And this habit I built from Danny, my best friend, and that's what he always does. It's actually really helps with jet lag too if you're crossing time zones. I've always found like whenever I arrive at a hotel and I don't work out, I'm just like sluggish the rest of the day. But if I stick to this Danny method, we'll call it, right when you get to a place, you crush a workout, and then you're just like, boom, now you're not feeling sluggish for the rest of the day, and get that workout in as soon as possible. Get that sweat in and start small. Another Tim Ferriss tip, micro commitments. Just go down to the hotel gym and do the treadmill or elliptical for 2 minutes. Because you'll never just do 2 minutes, right?
I'm taking notes. This is all good advice.
Yeah. He says micro commitments, and it totally makes sense. Or just go run for 100 meters. And so that's what we tell ourselves to say to get over the hump of, overthinking it. And then once we do 200, we're gonna be like, of course, this feels great. And then you're gonna, of course, end up, doing it for longer. So Sometimes I need to convince myself, like, fuck, I really don't want to do. Okay, fuck. Well, I'll just do fucking 5 minutes. And then it always ends up being, 15, 20, whatever.
And everyone who has experience working out knows that if you can just get over that hesitation and actually go do it, you always feel better. You always feel better. You never regret getting a workout in. So, and like you said, then it becomes addictive to have the consistency, discipline, because that spills over into every aspect of your life. So,
yeah, totally. That's it. And so, yeah, no one's perfect. Sometimes I don't want to work out, and it's everyone's human. And back to intuitive travel. Yeah, Tim Ferriss openly struggles with moderate severe depression. Yeah, again, everyone is human, and how I see that is, yeah, life has ups and downs. Life has highs and lows. Life is yin and yang. We can get into Alan Watts. There's no high. It literally could not exist without the low. And so life is highs and lows. Everyone's gonna be blue. Have the blues sometimes. I'm not familiar with if he has a serious cause of depression, but like, what the fuck is depression? Okay, what do we want? What do we, like? It's disease. Okay, it's called. Okay, I'm not the most educated on people. Some people might have serious issues going on, but yeah, life's gonna be fucking sad and depressing, and you're gonna be down, and you're gonna have ups and downs. Workouts, I'm sure Tim Ferriss would say, will instantly get you back. A lot of times it's because you're not working out, and basically your life is not balanced, and that daily workout routine, as Trevor said, spills into everything.
Yeah, barring actual, legit medical depression, I would say observing a lot of people, even myself, when you fall into those sad moments, it's usually you realizing that you're not doing what you need to do, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Not working on it's not advancing in life. So as soon as you just get over that hesitation and act and do something, I've found personally, and with my friends, that whatever level of depression you might feel, it tends to go away.
Yep, 100%. Just reading these questions here. Talk about these hard questions. Yes, they're true. Life has ups and downs, and yes, I've talked about this, a few times on Instagram story. Yes, YouTube and Instagram, it's all the highlights of life. That's what we naturally share. Of course, my life is not. No one's life is perfect. It literally cannot be. Life is always ebbs and flows, but you can be on a higher tier. Like my regular job life is down here. Living on cloud normal, cloud 5. Fluctuating between cloud 6 and cloud 5 and cloud 4. Up here, my life fluctuates between fucking cloud 9, cloud 8, cloud 10, and 11. And it, sometimes down to, cloud 7 or whatever, but it's just like living my fucking dream, but it doesn't mean it's fucking rainbows and cherries all 24/7. It rains in Southeast Asia, but I don't take pictures of it because it doesn't look beautiful. I take pictures when it's sunny out. Good stuff. So it's 1:50 p.m. I already asked for late checkout. I got to check out in 10 minutes. They're probably going to ring the doorbell any minute.
If you're at a Hilton hotel, you would have 4 p.m. late checkout, thanks to your status.
Nice. I got to start doing 2-hour podcasts more because the people start to come in and ask comments after a while. I'm Honed. Nice to see you around here. Haven't seen you around here. Thanks for following and listening. Subscribe on Spotify. If you guys use Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you guys can follow there. This will be there. And all my interviews are humans have so much potential, even living this time period when you have so much potential versus being born in the 50s or something. Yeah, exactly. It's all about perspective. Don't even get me started about perspective, relativity. Einstein said the universe is relative. Literally everything is relative. Uh, you know, just
or
for an
just access.
example, yesterday it's like I was talking to two Bitcoin millionaire friends, and they're making me seem like a poor fucking peasant. But compared to most of the world, I'm top 1%. Compared to those guys, I'm fucking 1% of the wealth that they have. So it's all what you compare it to.
This is an interesting question. Uh, Another issue of this lifestyle is the girls. How do you
Oh
manage that?
no.
Huh. Riley, how do you manage that?
uh, take as many good ones as I can. And be selective. No. He says so many hot girls. Yeah. So yeah, that's a part of life balance. Your love life slash your sex life is a big part of that. And here we go. So yeah, for a lot of guys, let's be perfectly completely honest. One of the dreams growing up is traveling the world, trying different drugs and girls. That's the opening to the Wiz Khalifa song, the thrill. And so, trying dating different women from all different countries. Let's be honest. So many of us guys have this dream, at least at one point in our life, and it can be real, and it has its ups and downs. As a nomad lifestyle, long-term relationships are just not compatible. But you can't have everything in life. You do have to kind of pick and choose what you can. You can't, have a settled down life and raise a family, and then also be a consistent international type world traveler. And so I guess we gotta. That comes down to what are your values, and what's most important to you. And my philosophy is, at least us young guys, I don't care, it's 20s, 30s, 40s, it's all fucking young, relatively, especially with how old we're gonna live in the future. Um, um, do you? I just want everyone to do your dream, pursue your dream. You only live once. You gotta follow your dream. Before you follow your grandparents' dreams or your parents' dreams, because that's what they did. They did the career route, or start the family in 30 route, or have this many kids or this type of career. Do you? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I would add. I'm in the thick of this. I would say it's an evolving topic as you get older because your priorities change. Like I said, I've been doing this half my life, so I've I've experienced the spectrum, especially moving around. Dating internationally is an incredible way to fast track your your learning of a new culture, of a new place,
Yeah,
and really just to grow as a person, because you are in a way forced to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, share yourself with someone else, and maybe even in a different language. I would say that the majority of women I've dated in Spanish and Portuguese. So through Brazilians or other Spanish speaking women, I've learned a lot about Latin America.
yeah,
Uh, and I would say when I was younger, I was never considering any type of relationship, let alone a long term relationship. Now that I'm 38, that is becoming more appealing. So, like you said, there's no right or wrong answer. I would say it's important to try to be as honest as you can. That if you are dating someone maybe semi seriously, maybe don't lead someone on thinking that you're going to be around forever if that's not your plan. But
yeah,
leave open the possibility that this could be someone who you build a life with, or even that comes along with you. So it really does evolve, and I'm in the thick of this right now,
yeah.
with some recent experiences. And
Yeah.
my most recent experiences dating internationally are completely different than my experiences when I was 20 or 23 or 24. Everything, it's an evolving process. That's I think all I can
Yeah,
say at this point.
for sure. And how old are you?
I'm 38.
38. Cool. Yeah. Still fucking young. Again, it's all how many girls do you date? So what I was trying to get at is if your dream is to go travel the world and fuck as many bitches as possible, then do that. If your dream that you've always had is to, go to Japan and settle down with a Japanese woman in a rice field, as one of my someone I know said recently, that I was lying at, then do that. If your goal is to, do whatever you want, and that's the whole point. If you want to date, go on dates every night, yeah, you can do that. And a piece of that is what I've talked about, before is it's kind of commonly known that um, certain portion of foreign women will want foreign men, and foreign men will want foreign women. So when you're a foreigner living in another country, you become more desirable. So you can, a lot of guys will agree, in other countries you can get more girls. And so if that's your goal, that's what you're trying to do, then you can totally do that. It's totally up to you. That's the whole point of life, is to it's be free and do you. You can follow my so I have a Discord group for these. It's a Discord nomads brotherhood. Let me move it over to this, where we talk about these type of things. Nomad Millionaires is my new tentative name for it, as in like 4-hour work week millionaires. Anyways, we talk about all these type of things. So if you're interested, hit me up on IG for the invite link. But where we talk about these type of things. But love this question.
Let's be honest, the international dating, it is an exciting part of international travel, without a doubt. Women are beautiful. You can learn a lot. You can you can go through a multitude of experiences very quickly just by putting yourself out there and going on dates and having conversations.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way, as long as you're treating any significant other respectfully and nicely, and you're both having a good time. That's what counts. And then just let any type of connection evolve, and see where it goes.
Yeah,
I found
absolutely.
that to be the best approach when you don't know how long you'll stay or where you'll be next.
Yeah.
It's pretty important just to let things evolve.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Treat women with respect. Go on as many dates as you like. The world is your oyster, bros. So yeah, how many girls you date a month? It might as well. It's not as many as I like. Okay, it's not like it's not like I can go like and fucking going. Okay, like anything, it takes time. But I mean, everyone's different. I'm a fucking 7 or 8. If you're a fucking 9 or 10, then you're gonna get that much more attraction of women. And it depends how good you are with women. So to quote a thing from Jabril, he said in the past, "Yo, if you a 6-pack at home, you're gonna be a 7 out in Asia. If you suck at girls back at home, you're gonna suck at girls out here." So he says, like, you might bump up one by being a foreigner at 1 point in the spectrum by being a foreigner in a foreign country, because, like I said, a portion of local women will be desirable for the foreign men.
But none of that is static. If you believe you're not good at speaking with women, that can change if you put yourself out there. So, and often you might be forced to put yourself out there in another language, which is another learning experience. It's a very interesting topic. I have a lot of ideas on all of that. but maybe this isn't the time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's 2:01, so we should probably wind down. I just showed you guys the Discord group, so if you're watching this far, then yeah, well, would love to have you guys hit me up on Instagram. My handle's on the screen. I'm really fucking loving it, Trevor. I'd actually, do you use Discord at all?
No, I should, I guess.
Yeah,
Between
it's really
Instagram and
cool.
Twitter and work, I feel like I have enough pop-ups on my screen all the time.
Yeah, yeah. It's I check it, um, you know, once a day. It's really dope. It's the new Facebook groups. So, but they have fucking these channels. It's like, do you use Slack at all? Familiar with Slack?
I'm familiar, but I don't use it.
So it has these different topic channels. So crypto, coding, Chiang Mai, Bangkok, and all things nomad life. And I'm trying to get all my nomad friends in there initially. So it's like it's a place to keep in touch with all my nomad friends. Like have all these DMs going on across all these apps. It's like let's just all the FAQs. I just want to share it with everyone because everyone has the same questions. And so just if you want to ask me a question, ask it here. Everyone can get the value. It's just way more organized than Facebook groups. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you in here just to
I should
share
check it out.
insights. And yeah, so
I would say at the moment, Twitter is by far my favorite platform. It's where I learn the most, to be honest. I think some of the smartest people on the planet are sharing knowledge on Twitter. And I was late to the game. I only started really being active on Twitter 2 years ago. And I feel like I've learned more in these past 2 years on Twitter than anywhere else in my entire life. So if Discord is anything close to Twitter, then I should check it out.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not on Twitter for whatever reason. I don't know. YouTube is my playground. YouTube and Instagram. How much do I have in the stock market? I have not a lot in weed stocks. More in crypto. And that comes from just who I get my advice from is Danny's a weed guy. So he tells me what to do. I just outsource that to people. I'm not a stock market person. I'm not a crypto market person, but I do what my smart friends do. But any other last questions? So is there really a wave of new digital nomads since the new flu? Yes, there's always a wave of digital nomads. Like, what's stopping you? Like, Thailand is open. Like, people are like, oh, I can't travel because of COVID. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? You could travel. I visited 6 countries in 2020. It's as simple as Googling what's open. Takes 5 seconds. What does Asian countries need? They're looking for a COVID passport. You need a Vax card to enter Thailand, and that's probably going to be most countries, right? To travel as a tourists. Neuralink, that's a whole another cyborg body uploading to the matrix. Hex is something to look into and stake. This is not a Bitcoin podcast, but of course it had to start. How do you deal with heartbreak of missing siblings? So this is another one. So I'm going to do this last bit about loneliness. Everyone has their own life situation with their relationships. Some people are more on the spectrum of, get homesick. Some people, they have to call their parents every day. I know some people that talk to their mom or their dad every day. For me, I'm like I mentioned before, I'm an explorer gene. Like I don't need to. My mom calls me like I'm just not that type.
Can't get homesick if you don't have a home.
Yeah, I'm. The world is my home, and I fly my mom out, and my mom's visited twice, and we text, and a cool thing about this is what my parents love is my Instagram stories, because every time I go back, they're like, I love that you're here. So excited when I come back, of course. as any parent would. But I feel like I'm always with you every day because in the morning they see my stories and they know what I'm doing every day. And that's the magic of Instagram stories. So a big part of just keeping it up is that keeps me motivated to keep it up is literally for my parents, my grandma. My mom's mom is one of my biggest, most religious commenters. She replies to my stories every day, and also all my cousins and friends. So we keep virtually in each other's pockets in that way. But missing your siblings, that's just not my personality. Everyone has their own thing. So if it's figure out your own life balance, whether you need to visit them once a year or I don't know. And then my spiel on loneliness is there's 3 tiers to loneliness. There's close, medium, and broad. The close is like the one-on-one. You're in a relationship, someone you sleep with, get up with, you're with every day, to be with that person on a day to day. Then there's like your closest group of friends, so your closest 2 to 5 group of friends. Some people have those really strong relationships, and some don't so much. For me, I'm very blessed to have 2 basically brothers of a friends that I talk with every day and actually fucking live with, and then a group of like 5 more really, really tight friends that we have like group chats with. And then there's the community loneliness, feeling a part of a community. So for me, it's kind of like the Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Bali nomad community. I feel a part of this. I feel a part of like a team, like a purpose. And so there's people have levels of loneliness on that level. And so for me on the one-on-one, yeah, I have a low score there because I'm not like in a relationship or whatever. I don't have a spouse, wife, girlfriend, or whatever. But I'm really strong on levels 2 and 3. So loneliness is complicated. Yes, everyone needs all 3, and I might have short-term relationships as in a digital nomad life. Like I've had multiple month-long relationships, but in which satisfies that one-on-one. And sometimes like even a fucking a one night stand or whatever might satisfy that, because we all have that sexual in need, of course. Humans need this. We need touch and love and fucking sex. And so you just gotta, again, life is balanced. That's all I got.
So I have something to add semi-related to this topic. I don't know at what point my mindset shifted, but just as everything is becoming digitized, I feel like the physical proximity, at least with friendships, I'm not talking about romantic relationships, but with friendships, I have so many friends who I haven't seen in 5 years. We're as close as ever because with all the different forms of communication, phone calls, video chats, emails, just even simple comments, small conversations in the DMs of Instagram, Facebook. At some point along the way, that became enough to maintain a very real, genuine friendship. Again, this is exclusively friendships. With any type of romantic situation, you need the physical touch. But I really do have internet friends who are some of my closest friends, and we hardly ever see each other in person. But when we do, it's as if we were never separated at all. So I think this might be some type of evolution of the location independent lifestyle where even friendships become digitized and fulfilling. So that's something related to what you were talking about.
Yeah, 100%. One of the really cool things, just really, really cool, special things about this lifestyle that I love, that I'm just like so straight up proud of, is how many friends I have from how many countries. And you're on a whole nother echelon of that. And so I have 2,000 something Instagram followers and YouTube. I don't know how you don't have more, but I love getting in the habit of when I meet someone and consider them a friend, we just follow each other, and then you're instantly like connected on Instagram, which is like the new Facebook or whatever, and you're instantly connected, and like it's so cool. We have friends from UK, South Africa, Argentina, Japan, China, Tokyo. Like I have friends from probably 100 countries, and you too. And not only is that just fucking cool, but when you visit those countries, we have unlimited people that were like, great. When you come here, hit me up. I'll show you around town. You can fucking crash at my place. And I'm sure you
Friend
have 20 times
and
more.
the network just keeps growing. Friends of friends.
Yes.
I have a friend who arrived to Mexico City today. I put him in touch with one of my friends, and people do that for me. I do that for them. And the network just keeps growing. And it is crazy that as much as we all travel, how small the digital nomad community really is. I mean, anytime I meet someone in a random coffee shop, even say hello, they're working. If I add that person on Facebook, we have 10 to 50 mutual friends.
Yeah.
almost always. It is because
Yeah.
there are certain hotspots around the world where people always kind of migrate to. I'm off to Medellin on Sunday. I'm going to touch
Big.
down and I could call up 10 different people to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
And then those 10 people are going to invite their friends, and that's how this all works.
Yeah. Totally. With mutual, I was just thinking about this on the freaking treadmill this morning. I talk about compounding effect with Amazon reviews, and from my conversation yesterday with my two Bitcoin millionaire friends, I met them both through mutual friends. One of them was through an Instagram mutual friend. I was in Istanbul, and Gilbert, who I met at Chiang Mai Nomad Summit, which you guys should all go to. I've met so many great friends at the Nomad Summit. It's like concentrating your friend meeting, and it's conferences are the best fucking thing. I talk about that way too much. Best life hack. It was one of my life
Or
hacks that I spoke about at the Nomad Summit. Is go to conferences.
Maybe this is the same for you, but because I work one-on-one with clients, and some of my clients are, I mean, 50% of them are digital nomads, and a lot of them are doing very well. I have a client, potential client I spoke to yesterday, spends $80,000 a month on advertising. So
Yeah.
whether I end up working with him or not, all my clients are friends. I treat them like friends. We talk. If I were to show up in any city where they live, we'll meet. I'll meet their friends. So it's not just people from the quote unquote digital nomad community, but it can also be people you work with, because they have something to offer you. You have something to offer them. It's just a big snowball that literally rolls around the world.
Yeah. It compounding effect. The David, the super smart Bitcoin millionaire, American dude I met through, Gilbert, who, you're in Istanbul. And that's the cool thing about being an influencer as well, is that also accelerates it. It's just having random followers. This was a friend. I have another friend in Istanbul right now. You're there. This happens to me all the time. Oh, you're there? Oh, I know this friend there. Go connect them. Cool guy. Da, 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 da. And so it's compounding in that way, is my friends and followers see where I'm at and connect me with people that they think are cool. And so that's another thing I'm really love about having a YouTube channel and just random followers is, if I'm in their city or they know someone, or just they'll connect me to people I don't even know.
And that's, I mean, this is slightly off topic, but that's why reputation and integrity is so important, because just as this network slowly grows, it can go to shit instantly if you prove to be not trustworthy person. So it is a small community and everyone knows everybody. So as long as you're a good person, people introduce you to their friends, and that's how it works. But that can all go away and I've seen it happen to people who disrespected that network effect.
Yeah. The nomad community, I've been thinking about this recently, because like it's only 3 months in Phuket, and our Phuket, and fucking the best fucking group of guys, like we already have a fucking mean crew and the dopest people. And oh god, I can go all about this, but I say this all the time. it's the best to be a part of this nomad community because not only are we in the same boat, it's like we both fucking live in Southeast Asia or Medellin. We're both fucking nomads, but we both own online businesses. We're both same somewhat personality type because we're adventurous and go against the grain of society and go live in another place. So it's like as soon as you meet, you're fucking instantly have all this in common. And not only that, it's just fucking nomads tend to just be fucking cool, nice, enlightened, and just interesting people. And so hence I have 120 fucking interviews with digital nomads. It's just this is good this is good people, good vibes, good conversation, and just interesting people. Just ambitious and adventurous is the t-shirt that I've been wanting to make as the tag phrase that ambitious and adventurous. All of us are fucking ambitious and adventurous.
And curious. I would say curious is a underrated characteristic of people. If you stay curious, you're always growing. You're always learning new things. You're always providing value to people. Learning languages, taking advantage of these cultures that we're in contact with. Yeah, curiosity is very important.
100%. And so did you know I have an Instagram page called Stay Curious?
I can't keep up with all your social media. I had no idea.
So fucking folks like you and me were curious. And when I started my YouTube wormhole journey in 2013, 2012, I started a Facebook page / Instagram page. It's called Stay Curious to just like put clips of things that I was like learning and on all different sorts in business, philosophy, fucking quantum physics, and just all this shit because I'm a fucking philosophy and science nerd and travel nerd. Curious cat. Exactly. Like I fucking curious about everything. You know, and some of us have that curiosity gene or whatever, and it really, really ties in with world travel and wanting to, you know, learn about that and experience that. Fucking, I gotta more
Your
2 hours.
notifications must be out of control. This is why I don't have the followers, because I am on one platform, no paid advertising, and I stay plenty busy through word of mouth. I can't imagine the amount of people that come to you.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that much. You know, I love it when I get random DMs from my followers, but like my engagement overall fucking sucks. Like I swear I'm fucking shadow banned on YouTube. My subscribers don't even see my videos. It's this whole algorithm thing. But a very exciting thing is I just put out a job to hire a filmmaker. Finally, I've been wanting to do this to follow in Jabril's footsteps for fucking 4 years. Finally making enough money to hire someone full time, and I had a couple of interviews already. Potentially very exciting to take my YouTube channel and Instagram to the next level. So
that's
things
amazing.
are
Congrats.
fucking exciting. Yeah, dude, thank you. And things are fucking exciting. And if that goes well, then it's just more excuses to travel because I have a filmmaker to actually make good content, not shitty vlog content, just all done by myself.
So I want to share a quick story because we mentioned that we met in 2014 in Chiang Mai when we went to this business conference. We were also working out of the same co-working space, Pun Space, remember? And at the time, I think we were both pretty off the boat. We were just getting started. And I was at the time trying to get into drop shipping, which I eventually did pretty successfully for about a year and a half, besides what I do now. But I do remember sitting in Pun Space, looking at you and Parker, because you guys were working long hours at that time. And I would observe both of you and I would think, how the fuck are these guys so confident? Confident as in the business was going to work. I was sitting there dabbling with my drop shipping website. Like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. Then I would look up and you guys you knew that it was going to work. And I guess I'm trying to give you a compliment. I thought that was a very interesting characteristic to observe, because I was not so confident in dropshipping at the time. And I felt that you guys, no matter what, were going to make it happen. So it's a compliment.
100%. And I only realized this in hindsight 2020. And this was one of my top five life hacks that got me to where I am is, and it comes back down to having that mindset of it's not if, it's when. And looking back, Parker and I like I slept on a couch for a year, like before we came out in a 1-bedroom apartment. We lived together. We had posters of Thailand on the wall, and we would watch videos about living in Thailand and all that stuff. And that's how I found Johnny FD's channel and the Nomad Summit about Chiang Mai. But 100%, we both look back and we were like, dude, we wanted this so fucking bad. And we talk fucking all the time. And we're just like, bro, like we're living our fucking dreams. Like we were in that fucking 1-bedroom apartment. Like this is crazy. We're living out exactly what we were fucking dreaming and talking about. And so, talking to people, it's like you got to have that inner confidence. And I don't know where that comes from. Maybe you're born with it. Maybe it's because we grew up, competitive athletes, and it's just instilled that mindset of winning. But that's a big part of life in general is confidence, 1,000%.
That's interesting that you mentioned the athlete aspect, because I played sports. I was recruited to be a college linebacker. I never did play college ball, but I was offered scholarships. And here's another question, from all of the thousands of online workers, location independent people that I've met, the number one personality trait that they had in common, they didn't give up. That's it. I meet so many people who sometimes I'll be talking to them and this guy makes a lot of money. I'm just as smart, if not smarter than this guy. I could do that. And the more I learn about their history, for them to get to that point, they just didn't give up. That is it. That is the thing that will get you to wherever you want to go, especially if it's a financial goal with an online business. Not giving up. All the information is out there. You just have to find it, implement it, and not give up. That is really it. And I'm speaking from data point of thousands of digital nomads. That's the trait.
Yeah. 1 gazillion freaking %, guys. That's it. And why did those people not give up? I think about this all the time. It's because how bad do you want it? Comes down to it. How bad do you want it? I think that's a big thing, motif in life. It comes down to how bad you want it. For example, I want to be fucking 15% body fat, and I have been for 4 or 5 years. Why am I not? Why am I 18 or 20%? At the end of the day, it comes back to I don't want it bad enough. And so how bad do you fucking want it? How bad do you want to be able to travel the world, be completely free to experience this planet before you die? Because we just live and then we die, and that's pretty much all we know. The rest is just the details. That's all we know for sure. And so that's it. Intuitive Travel for sure. Hit me up on IG. I'll see what kind of loyal viewers coupon code we can potentially get you to. I'm sure Trevor will hook it up. Thanks for the questions. Appreciate it. Yeah. Amazing 2-hour convo. It's already 2:25. I was like, it's 1:59. This is the last 5 minutes. But this was fucking dope. Let's do this again. Fucking next year.
In the end, we did go, Joe. It started out a little infomercially with the service.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could talk about us. I guess a recap just as far as my service is concerned. Americans, this is real. If you have decent credit and you can be organized, why are you still paying for flights and hotels? That's my question to you. This system exists, and it's not even rocket science, especially if you have someone like me with 10 years experience helping you. Why are you paying for flights and hotels?
Come on, son. Exactly. Thanks for the questions, Joe. I'm on a regular visa exempt on arrival, but organizing actually work visa. So you can hit me up more questions on Instagram and join the Discord if you're interested. Let me know on Instagram. Follow Trevor. Check it out. See you on IG as always. And
Cool.
yeah, this will be live, so I'll send you the link right after this.
Cool. I'll share it. We'll be talking.
Sweet, sweet. Peace, guys.
All
Thanks,
right.
bros.